Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Tunerworks in Calgary and we're fitting the new AWE exhaust system to the RS6, and the team here have been fantastic all day. They've let me jump into the workshop from time to time, grab some footage, answered a bunch of my questions, so looking forward to showing you all that. But first things first, let's jump in the car and let's hear how it sounds. It was great to spend some time with the team at Tunerworks today. They had some lovely examples in the workshop. My favourite being this 1970s Mercedes 280 SL, which was undergoing a full restoration at the time, and it was looking absolutely fantastic. Hoping I get to see this car on the road once it's completed. Outside, I found this beautiful GT3 RS, definitely a dream car for the future. So onto the install. Here's a quick look at the stock system, complete with all the mufflers, resonators and the back box. And it's no surprise really that V8 sounds a bit muted out of the factory with all of this. Now, I didn't want to interfere with any sensors, so the AWE system is a catback system, so it connects up after the catalytic converters, and it does also use the stock valve, so it retains the same functionality as the stock system. Some people like to have a bit more control over how the valves operate, but I'm pretty happy actually with how they're programmed from the factory. The AWE system is much simpler in comparison, just has the one resonated section towards the front, no additional mufflers or back boxes. The Acro exhaust was a titanium option that I looked at, but that system costs almost double, so it wasn't ever really in the running. You know, saving a bit more exhaust rate over the AWE system on a 2-ton car won't have a huge impact from a driving perspective. The AWE system also replaces the tips on the exhaust with ones that are 31% larger and do a much better job of filling the gap in the rear bumper. I thought it was pretty interesting to see the car without any exhaust on it, as you get a chance to see what sits behind. Sadly, the car's looking pretty filthy after the Vegas trip, but we'll get a detail on it at some point this summer. What's really noticeable at the back though is just how big the back box for the stock exhaust is, and I picked it up when it was off the car, and it really is as heavy as it looks. And finally, here's the same shot, but this time with the AWE system fully fitted. I actually think it looks a lot neater than the stock arrangement with this single resonated section up front, and then the gases run unrestricted right to the back with just the two 1-inch pipes at the end that are only in use when the valves are closed. Let's do a quick sound comparison, stock versus AWE, and then we'll go for a drive. So the exhaust has actually been on the car for a couple of weeks now, and honestly it has been transformative when compared to the stock system. I took the RS6 to a long roof car meet on last Sunday. Everyone seemed to really enjoy the upgrade, but I just haven't had a ton of time to film it. So I've got 2 hours this morning. I'm going to head out to the east of Calgary, grab some footage, talk you through the differences between the stock versus the AWE system, capture as much of the sound as I can, and yeah, looks like a beautiful morning. So let's head on out. first run, we're just going to run up here in comfort mode. We'll do a cold start. We'll take it pretty sedate, just so you can get a sense of the exhaust at its most quiet. So first up, just a cold start in auto mode. Yeah, the difference compared to just the stock exhaust, even just on auto, is quite significant. But let's just head on up here and we'll just get a sense of how the exhaust sounds just with some relaxing driving. When you're driving in auto or comfort, it's pretty sedate. There's no drone from the exhaust. Still get a nice tone coming out the back, but it's pretty quiet. I'd say it's still a little bit louder than on the stock system, but it's nothing too crazy. Cold start is transformed compared to the stock system, that must be said. But otherwise, it's fairly relaxing. You know, we're running in 8th gear, drive, comfort mode, and yeah, very sedate, quite relaxing, and I don't think too loud for the passengers in the back. If we go down a couple of gears here in comfort mode, just to get a sense of the downshifts. Again, nothing crazy. Just dropping into 5th there, down into 4th. Don't really get any overrun when you're in comfort mode. It's pretty sedate. If I drop down to 3rd here, again, system pretty quiet, pretty chill. Sounds a little bit louder from the outside, of course, but whilst you're driving it, you know, pretty relaxing. Okay, so we've now switched to RS1 mode. Again, we'll do a cold start, we'll do a quick rundown here. Still fairly relaxed driving. I'll keep it in drive mode rather than sport, but just to give you a sense of the difference between comfort and drive and then RS1 mode and drive. An instant difference. Much louder exhaust note. You know, we're still in drive, so we're not getting any particularly aggressive shifts, but the key difference is the valves are now open, and so the AWE system does use the stock valves. You know, we just have a lot less mufflers under the car now. I think when I saw the exhaust come off, the stock exhaust come off, we probably had, if I remember right, 2 at the front, and then a whole system of mufflers at the back. With the AWE system, you just kind of get one X pipe where it joins, which is pretty much underneath where the front passenger and driver sit, and then it's just 3-inch pipe right to the back. The way the valves work with the AWE system is right at the end of the exhaust. You have 2 1-inch pipes, one on each side. When the valves are closed, it pushes the exhaust gases through those, so it keeps the sound down. But right now the valves will be open, so the 3-inch pipes is where all the exhaust gases will be flowing right out. And again, if I just play with the gears a little bit here in drive mode, nothing too crazy, just the valves are open so you can hear. We get a little bit of overrun on downshift now. Let's pull in, and then we're going to do a bit more of an aggressive run on this one. Okay, so we'll do one more run here. We'll be in full manual mode, so I'll have complete control of the gearbox. I do find in manual mode, when I'm coming down the gears, the overrun, the pops and bangs are even better than when the computer's controlling that in sport mode. So let's see if I can give you a bit of a show here. Just can't tell you how good it sounds. I hope the iPhone is able to pick up as much of that as it can, but it just sounds phenomenal. It's such a huge difference to the stock system. That's all for this one. Thanks again to Tunerworks for letting me hang out and film whilst the work was done, and for just doing a stellar job with the install. We should be drag racing the RS6 soon, so keep an eye out for that video in the next month or so. Thanks so much for watching, and catch you in the next one.